best boxing podcast in the world.
Call the cops on me. On a mission to be champs since they let me free. Prepare for combat, my adversaries crumble. Face it, I got a reputation for damage. Busters get ready to rumble. They lock me in a cell. Have me trapped in a living hell. Though not guilty, I'm still in jail. Brother, I serve my time like a soldier. Maintain composure. My shadow boxing the fight to the death. Busting boulders. Every boxer with a pair of gloves. Best give up love. Here's a man from the makings of a thug. A lethal weapon, mind sharp. And in my heart, there's a wish to shake the world with the flurry of my black fist. Now once a high school dropout. Now I'm the $1 million champ. Who's the next to get knocked out? Straight out of Brooklyn and worldwide.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Cheap Seats Box Show. Angelo here, my boy JP. JP, what's up, man?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
First things first, follow us on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box, iTunes, rate, review. You'll be next unofficial sponsor. Honestly, I didn't check, but you guys probably have it because you guys are fucking lackluster with that stuff. But you know, whatever. Just do it. We shout you out. You become the unofficial sponsor. Follow the show on all the platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Like I said, videos are going to... I think I'm going to start doing some like 5-10 minute videos pretty soon. We shall see how everything goes. But that's up to you guys too. If you guys don't subscribe, I ain't wasting my time. All right. Last week, Mikey Garcia, unanimous decision. Damn, after the first or second round, it was shutout. Gets the unanimous decision, lifts the IBF belt from Robert Easter, unified champion at 135. JP, what you think, man?
I think he kicked his ass. I think Easter started with a good game plan. He would have had to polymodernize his way through that whole night to win. And he didn't get walked down at first. He kind of played himself and got played at the same time. Because if you saw Mikey, he kind of inched in a little bit closer to find his range. Then he jumped back a little bit to make Robert Easter reach. And then he just started picking him apart. When he was able to get off good shots, good combinations, with good power, you saw jabs. It was classic jabs versus power punches. So the jabs didn't look like they were going to beat the power punches. And that's what wound up happening. And he basically got Easter to come closer. And the closer he got, the worse it got. So, you know, it shows why Mike is one of the best fighters in the world. Because this is a completely different fight we saw the last time. And probably a completely different fight you saw the time before that. You know, now you can say he dominates guys his size. He dominates guys smaller. He dominates guys taller. You know, he can dominate speed with timing. He can dominate, you know, he can dominate length with his ring generalship and his IQ. You really can't say what can you say that's not good about what he did. It was a great performance. It was a great fight.
All right. If anybody's been following me on Twitter, God knows I've been pushing the button of Lomachenko people all week. But let's just get to the fight. Round one, Easter does, I think, the only game plan that's really going to help him, and that's trying to establish a jab, establish a distance. Has an okay first round. He wins the first round. He may have won the second round. I edged it to Mikey. Mikey had started to catch him clean by the end of the second round. But he tried to establish a jab, do exactly what he never does in any of his fights, and that's utilize his length and utilize the jab. And he tried to do that. Round three, Mikey catches him with a right.
Left, right, left, you're toothless. Okay.
And then, just like easy. Oh, no, that was Ice Cube, huh? But, and then knocks him down with the left hook, right? And at that point, you could see Easter's face is like, not going to be my night. And then after that, it was pretty much, he had kind of phoned it in at that point. You know, it's, he even tried to make fun of it, you know, doing the Martin skit after the fight, talking about how hard Mikey hits. I think there's no doubt that Mikey's a good power puncher. His ring IQ is very high. Look, he's one of the best fighters in the world, and people gave him a lot of shit on my timeline. Not everybody's timeline's a little bit different. On my timeline, everybody gave him shit after he didn't fight the Linares fight. And he didn't sign with Golden Boy. Big fucking deal. Didn't sign with Golden Boy. Big deal. What has Golden Boy got going on besides Canelo? And the fact that Mikey has actually stayed true to what he said, right? He doesn't want to sign with a promoter, right? He's doing a fight by fight basis, and yes, he's fighting his fights on Showtime. So what? If he signed with the other ones, he'd be on ESPN all the time. So it doesn't really matter in that sense. He could have signed with Hearn. Mm-hmm. Hearn said he wanted to go after Mikey. He signed his fighters. Mikey wasn't one of them. So he stayed true to his word. He got out of his contract with Top Rank. He waited it out because he's not done with his money. Kudos to him. We talk about every other fighter that is terrible with money. And he's done. That's what he's done. You know, so everybody, he talks about, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight Spence. Make no mistake. There was a reason Spence was at that fight. And it wasn't because they're not thinking about fighting each other. Is it a bad idea? Maybe. I mean, a bad idea in what? Well, he may lose? That's what I don't understand. Everybody, it's a bad idea. It's stupid. Why? Because he could lose. So what?
It's a lose-lose and a win-win at the same time. Jumping up 2 weight classes is not going well in the near past. But at the same time, losing when you jump up 2 weight classes is like, he jumped up 2 weight classes. So, even it doesn't, it equates, but it doesn't necessarily, even with Rigo and Lomachenko. If he didn't pack it in the way he did, they would have said, I mean, he jumped up 2 weight classes to do this. They should have did this earlier. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's part of a lose-lose win-win. If he beats Spence, god damn, he's the man. It is what it is. Now he's the man. Then people gonna start throwing unrealistic expectations. Well, why don't you go up to 54? Why don't you go up to 60? Like, they're gonna start doing that. If he loses, the Spence is like, is it really a win, Spence? You beat a guy who was 135 last time. You're a big one, 154. What is this really? So, but as far as name, skill, attraction, probably the money that fight can generate, it's a winning fight. Just on that alone, it's a winning fight. And on top of that, you got 2 young, hungry fighters in basically their primes who will make fights happen. Because both, like, I was shocked by, he was like, Spence said November. And Mike was like, well, I was thinking about November, December, so we probably could make it happen. I'm like, oh shit. These guys ain't bullshitting. These guys ain't saying, November. But I pulled my pinky toe, so we going to have to push this shit back. They serious about this. And let us boxing fans be honest. Are we going to turn that fight down? Hell no. Hell no, we're not going to turn that fight down. So let it happen.
Yeah, and then the thing about this whole thing was, the reason that I started in on it is because I just thought that there is a double standard when it comes to Mikey compared to a guy like Lomachenko. Everybody, Mikey needs to plant his flag. He needs to stay at one weight. Why? Why does he need to? Because you want him to? Because Lomachenko fought at 130 for 13 months. Now, he did fight 4 fights, but he fought for a whopping 13 months. He went from 126 to 130 and then right up to 135. Nobody said, well, he needs to plant his flag. He hasn't even unified a title. Hasn't even fought the second best 130 fighter in Miguel Berchelt. Nobody said any of that stuff. And he goes up and he fights Linares, who is the second best. I don't care what anybody says. He's the second best lightweight because Mikey had not given up the title. Mikey was the best lightweight at the time because anybody would have bet on even money that Mikey beats Linares. Mikey was the man at 135. He still is. He's got 2 titles. Deal with it. No big deal. But my problem was the inconsistencies of it. And so I just started giving him hard times about it and giving him Mikey facts. And so I've been doing that and really pissing off people on Twitter. And really I am just starting to pot. What I'm really doing is trying to point out inconsistencies. Like I'm very consistent. I have no problem with him fight. He's the best lightweight in the world, wanting to fight the best welterweight. For years and years, that's exactly how boxing worked. Nowadays, it's a way to get talked bad about for reasons I don't understand. Nobody said, man, Duran should not fight Sugar Ray. No way that should. No, they didn't say that. Look, and it could end bad. Guess what? Duran got knocked the fuck out by Tommy Hearns. It could end like that. So what? So fucking what?
Still one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, what does it matter? People just, and it's like, if Lomachenko, he goes to 135, and he says, you know what, I want to fight Crawford at 147, right? Or maybe in between, whatever. You think people are going to get on him? No. They're going to be like, man, that guy wants challenges. He wants to face the best. That's all Mikey's doing. And for whatever reason, they have issues with it. I go back when Khan fought Canelo. Yeah, it was a stupid idea, but I gave him credit. Fuck it, he's risking to be great. Brooke went up to Triple G. I didn't say, oh, that's a stupid fight. No, I say he's risking to be great. Fuck it. At the time, I thought he was the best 147. Yeah. That was just my opinion, Whatever. He was one or two, whatever. And he wanted to face the best middleweight. So what? When Rigo went up to face Loma, I had no problem with it. He wanted to test greatness. Now, he got killed for quitting. The other guys didn't because, you know what? They went out on a shield. And if Mikey goes out on a shield and doesn't quit, then there's really nothing bad you can say. We'll see. We'll see if that fight comes off. It may. And I hope it does. And then what are people going to say? They're going to root against him because he's going up. So what? Just be consistent with your shit. If you're going to criticize one for it, you got to criticize all for them. You got to be very consistent with your shit. Dillian White beat Joseph Parker. I predicted it. I was right. He hung on for fucking dear life. It is what it is. This is what I said about that fight. That fight to me was equal to Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. They're middle of the road welterweights when you're talking about the best of the best, and that's exactly what White and Parker are. Middle of the road. Yeah, they're top 5, top 10 in their division, but they are zero threat to the top guy. So take it for what it was. It was a fun fight. Dillian White probably moves himself into position for a rematch with AJ, which could happen because it'll fucking sell. Parker is shown to be more of a hype job than the real deal. It just was what it was. I mean, I'm not going to break down too much of it because I thought it was an overblown fight in the UK, just like that fight here in the US in the welterweight division. Porter and Garcia will be overblown. It is what it is. But it was a fun fight. Shit, that's all that matters.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's basically what happened. I mean, should there be a rematch? Not for AJ. Just one of y'all. The best y'all could do is stand in line and get knocked out by Wilder. That's pretty much the best you could do. Because there are only 2 heavyweights. Well, take that back. 3. Yeah. There are 3. When Tyson's is Tyson, you got 3 heavyweights. Everybody else is, cannon fodder. I hate to say it that way, but that's pretty much what everybody's thinking. Like you said, we don't see them as threats. There's nothing. The skills aren't there. The footwork isn't there. The defense isn't there. The power isn't really there. The best you got is some people that could talk a good game. Mm-hmm. And I'll take that as far as getting the opportunity. But they're going to talk themselves into getting their ass kicked, basically. Shout out to Draymond Green. Anyway, what else do they want? There's really nowhere to go. It should be like, how we say they need a tournament? Mm-hmm. Well, the heavyweight division needs a middle-of-the-road tournament.
The middle of the road.
Who can beat all the middle-of-the-roaders to even be considered to be a threat? That's pretty much what it is. And it's because also when you look at Joshua and Wilder, you look at something that we've talked about for years. You look at in-shape heavyweights. You look at heavyweights who actually look like they take pride in what they do. And not only that, relatively young, whether by age or by the amount of rounds that they've had. You're looking at other guys who look out of shape, who look like they fought too much or for too long, and that doesn't look winnable. It's just not gonna happen. My apologies to y'all, but it ain't gonna happen.
This week. Let's just be honest. 2013 is on fire. This week, 2013 is lined up to be a great year. That's what I was saying. It is not 2013 yet. Billy Dibb, J. Leon Love, Peter Quillen, Devin Alexander, and Andre Berto are all in marquee fights. Yet it is not 2013, but and when I say marquee, I put that in quotes. Dibb and Farmer fight in Australia. It is what it is. Farmer, give me Farmer all day long, except for the robbery that could definitely come and play in Australia.
Give me 11 rounds to one Farmer with a 7-5 decision.
Yeah.
I think the best thing Billy Dibb's got is that he probably not going to get knocked out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it. I don't expect this shit to be close. I expect Farmer to either to win in a close bullshit decision or get robbed and people go, what the hell? And, Jeff Horn Jr. situation. But Farmer's going to win, in my opinion, and then all of a sudden you're going to hear Gervonta Davis talking. It is what it is.
I think Farmer and Malignaggi could fight bare knuckle and nobody would still get knocked out in that fight. Let's see. What was I going to say about that fight? Oh, yeah. You think Billy Dibb is still getting the SMS money?
Oh, man. On this next episode of Power.
Yeah, exactly. How about the Fox card? Huh? Now, here's something crazy. Fox, PBC on Fox, and HBO, two networks that actually don't do boxing anymore, are having a card on the same night. We'll start with Fox. Like I said, J. Leon Love versus Peter Quillen. They found him. They found he was safe. Found him safe and sound. He was missing for a while. This is a fight between, was once a good fighter and never was a good fighter in J. Leon Love. This one is a tough fight to call because if you base it on activity, Love is going to win this fight. If you base it on who was better and at their best, well, Quillen wins this fight. But because of those two things, it's pretty balanced. It's a 50-50 fight. I'm going to go Peter Quillen, but I mean, and honestly, I don't know what it matters. At 168, I don't think either of these guys are a threat as of right now. Well, definitely J. Leon Love is not. He lost to Porky Medina, and Porky Medina is not good. And Quillen is, at this point, just isn't. I don't care if he knocks out J. Leon Love.
For Peter Quillen, it hasn't been the same since that first round. It was before that first round with Danny Jacobs, really, because he was looking like he was out of shape prior to that, the weight fluctuations and all that other stuff. J. Leon started out promising and then just leveled out. I don't know what to take it as either, but I will hope that whoever wins, they're gonna have to win impressively. I highly doubt J. Leon Love hurts Peter Quillen. But I highly think that Peter Quillen hurts J. Leon Love. So everything's leading towards Quillen in my opinion. But unless there's like a Jordan-esque 96 highlight about to go down, nobody knows where this is gonna go. I mean where? Like,
there's only a couple other 168s that are with Heyman still. I think Medina is one. He fought with him a few times at least. I don't know if he's on there, but what's the guy who just beat DeGale and lost to DeGale? I can't think of it. From Minnesota. Shit. I can't think of his name.
Truax.
Yeah, Caleb Truax. And then, of course, Benavidez. And let's be honest, ain't none of these motherfuckers even competing with Benavidez at this point. So that's why I said I don't care what these guys do. Enjoy for the fight for what it is. But this means nothing. And if you're going to tweet out at the end, Peter Quillen is back, you can go, just delete it now. Just delete that tweet now. Don't even worry about that shit. On the main event, it could be the fight of the year in 2013. But in 2018, it will not be. Devin Alexander, Andre Berto. Andre Berto being back to his original Heyman position, that was beat Berto, get a title shot. It was Berto get a title shot. Then it turned into beat
Broner get a title shot.
Well, I was gonna say it was Broner for a little bit. Then it was gonna be beat Robert Guerrero, get a title shot, and it's back to now beat. Because trust me, if and when Devin Alexander wins this fight, he will be talked about as getting a title shot of somebody, Errol Spence or Keith Thurman or the winner of Garcia and Thurman. You know what's coming. That's just how it is. Look, at their best, Alexander is a much better fighter. Wins, even at their best. At where they're at now, it's still they're equal to where they're at now. Except for the fact that I don't think that Alexander's style ages a little bit better than Berto's style, and by that I think it's even a wider margin. I think that I don't see how. Well, then again, it was a controversial decision with Ortiz, the draw, but I don't see how Alexander doesn't win 8, 9, 10 rounds just boxing Berto. Berto just has nothing left, man.
I mean, in the last year, Alexander has looked real good for his comeback. He's looked real good. I like Berto, but I can't say the same for him. So conventional wisdom would say he's gonna run into a problem. And as far as skill level is concerned, Alexander's just a better fighter. He's a better fighter. Like, you know. And like you said, the styles, his style probably does age better than Berto's because, you know, when you see Berto do great things, it's like flashbacks to years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we saw the uppercut one good time in the last 3-4 years. You know, he's always had the heart of a lion. I will give him that. But I think this is just because I could have swore he retired after freaking War retired. So to me, this is like I'm gonna bring you out of retirement showcase for Devin Alexander type fight. I don't see him winning this. I like him, but I don't see him winning this.
Yeah, and you know what? One more thing I forgot about Quillen that goes bad for him is he not with Virgil Hunter now?
I don't know.
And that's not good. Nobody does good with Virgil Hunter except Ward, and Ward was just good on his own. That's another negative. You know what? Jay Leon Love may win that fight, man. It's very possible.
Oh, man.
Before we get into that, into the HBO card, which is probably the main card, now I want to hit on the talk of Wilder and Fury. Just real quick, because, you know, that's not official or anything like that. You know how these things go. What's your initial thoughts, man? I mean, I think everybody has a lot of the same thoughts with this. Fury needs to fight again, then he will, because if they fight, this is going to be later on, November, December?
I wouldn't want him to jump into it, because if he jumps into it, I think he's getting knocked out.
Well, I think he's got already a fight coming up this month, in August, I think. That'd be a tomato candle, brother.
That's the thing. Like, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be messed up. So you mean to tell me the biggest heavyweight fight in the world should be Joshua Wilder? We see how that panned out. So now he can make the fight with Fury, which is still a big fight. And that fight is probably going to outshine Joshua Povetkin by far. And then the question that you raise is, it's a high-risk, high-reward fight it really is a win-win situation for Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
If you lose, you just came back. You lost 1,800 pounds. So you lost to Wilder. Oh, I'm not really in shape. Ring rust. Blah 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 blah. But give me a shot. I'll be right back at it. If you win, oh Lord, y'all know what's gonna happen. He gonna have the Tony Montana screensavers all over the place again. Like we back, baby. So and for Wilder, it's a win-win. You win, you say, yeah, he might have been out of shape, but I know somebody in the UK got hard to fight me. And so you fight Wilder, I think he beats Wilder. No, he fights Joshua, I think he beats Joshua. He can turn right around. Well, you want to see this unification defense against Tyson Fury? Now that he's quote-unquote 100% and ready? This is a good situation to me. So, make it happen. And I think those are the two kind of people, because they get along, that they'll make it happen. So
I think the biggest winner in this whole thing is Anthony Joshua, because him fighting the winner of it is just, that fight is made that much bigger. If it's Wilder, then the fight is even bigger globally because he's fighting a UK fighter. So he gets his face out there a little bit more around the world. If Fury wins, well, then it becomes the biggest fight in the history of the UK. I mean, seriously, it really does. It is like
True.
the biggest fight ever over there. They will literally have people sitting on top of the goddamn stadium. They will be getting like 93,000 in there somehow, packing them in there some way, somehow. And so he's the big winner in this. And as far as the fight goes, look, it's like this. I expect Wilder to win, but only because I expect him to eventually catch Fury. If he doesn't catch Fury, Fury wins. And now, does that mean Fury's going to get the decision? Probably not, because what we've seen from Deontay Wilder is no matter how poor he's looked boxing, he's always ahead on the cards whenever the fight is stopped. So, you take that for what it's worth. But those are two guys who would actually make the fight. They tried when, they talked about it beforehand when Wilder was the champ. I mean, when Fury was the champion. You remember when they got into the ring with each other and all that bullshit happened. So, and plus, you know what? Even if the AJ fight didn't come off, right? No matter who wins that fight, it could be, unless it's a first round knockout, it could be an instant rematch and a possible trilogy, because you just know, well, hey, if Fury doesn't get caught, man, I think he's going to beat Wilder. And Wilder fans will be like, hey, man, all he's got to do is clip Fury one time and Fury's going out. So it's built in to be more than a one-fight deal with them. Now all of a sudden, and it puts Wilder, actually Wilder could be the big winner in this, because actually it puts him in a greater bargaining position, because he's like, I don't need you. I already got another fight lined up that's going to sell even bigger the second time than it did the first time. If, you know what I mean? If there's drama in the fight, I don't think this lines up to be a aesthetically pleasing fight, but there could be a lot of tense moments in it. And so
I forgot something, and my apologies, caveat, sorry. This is all, even about when we're talking about the heavyweight division, this is also a good thing for Luis Ortiz, because for all intents and purposes, he was beating Wilder. So between Wilder, Fury, Joshua, you take Wilder out the mix because he won with a knockout. These other two, he either reestablishes himself by fighting one of them, or they set the bar for beating him. You get what I'm saying? So this is actually a good. What was the wrestling matches? The four corner.
Fatal 4-way?
Yeah, it's a good fatal 4-way. Because whether these guys, 3 of these guys for sure want to unify. One guy did basically unify. So, well, 2 guys for sure want to unify. I'm not too sure about Joshua. But Ortiz will be a cleanup man if he gets the opportunity. So this is a good thing for the heavyweight division. So get it done. Get it done.
All right. The HBO card, 2 fights. Dimitri Bivol on the undercard against Isaac Chilemba, which is just setting up a fight for him versus the winner of, it most likely will be, Sergey Kovalev versus Eleider Alvarez. Alvarez, the guy who has taken step-aside money and not taken step-aside money 15 times against Adonis Stevenson, or for Adonis Stevenson. I guess we'll finally get to see if the hype is real. Like, is the threat real? You know, at least that would have been a real fight for Stevenson. We'll see. It could pose problems for Kovalev if he isn't all the way back like he thinks he is emotionally. Alvarez could be a guy to push him there. If he is, I think Alvarez is a guy who's not going to stand in the way of eventual Bivol Kovalev matchup. Kovalev's a smart fighter. If he feels like he's in control, and he's definitely a guy who is a front runner, he establishes control. It's a snowball effect for him. I kind of expect him to do that. I don't expect him to stop Alvarez. Maybe possible. I expect this one to go to decision. I think Kovalev, won 8 rounds, 116, 112, somewhere in that neighborhood. What do you think, man?
I think he's a front runner too, and I think if you can get past 4 and establish yourself after that, that makes for an interesting fight. But it's hard as hell to get past 4. So I think betting money is on Kovalev. Him and Bivol, I think that's a good fight. But even when I think of Kovalev right now, his mind state is always like, I don't think he can shake that. And if I was him, I would be able to shake that, because Ward ain't coming back. So screw it. Like, you the best of what's left. Like, you should look at, don't cut it all off. Like, hey man, whatever. He retired, he gone. Let me do this. So, and be honest, you never fighting Adonis Stevenson. You know that already. Come on now. You better root for Badu Jack in a rematch, because you ain't never fighting Adonis Stevenson. He's never fighting nobody. Adonis Stevenson versus step aside. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he don't have this Jack rematch, I could see Adonis Stevenson probably going 12 rounds with Anderson Silva. It's not happening, bro. Like, let it go. I mean, do your thing. Like, in my opinion, just go there, do your thing. But Alvarez, if he can make it past 4 and really work, it could get interesting. I just don't bet on it.
Yeah, his thing is to work after 4, not survive after 4.
Yeah.
If he starts working after 4, there will be some doubt that could creep back into the mind of Kovalev, because we saw his psyche wasn't strong. He had the psyche of a bully. Like, you hit him in the mouth. All of a sudden, he kind of backs up a little bit. On the undercard, Dimitri Bivol, they've fought a couple times on each other's card. Bivol on the undercard, fighting Isaac Chilemba. Chilemba is just a guy. He's kind of a name that people have heard, but he's always a guy that you've heard as an opponent. He's the opponent. He always loses anytime he steps up. Bivol is shown to be the goods, man. Power, skill. At 175, he may be the man. It's very possible Bivol and Gvozdyk are actually the 2 best light heavyweights in the division right now, and Kovalev is just the biggest name in the division. I think this is just another showcase fight. Chilemba's tough. He lasts. So if Bivol looking to make a statement, will get the stoppage. Even if he has to do it late like he did against Barrera. Against Barrera, like he did against Barrera in the 12th round. Sully B. And if he can make a statement like that, we'll see if they eventually do make this Kovalev fight. I think Bivol has to be careful not to look too good, because I don't think that Kovalev's psyche is all the way back. I don't think he's still working on his confidence. If Bivol looks too devastating, he might be talking to Kathy Duval, let's just push this fight back another year. You know what I mean? But Bivol win this fight. It's just a matter of when and how. I'm going to say he's going to do it by 11th round stoppage in a ho-hum fight. Nothing major.
Because of Chilemba's good. He's a good name to have on your list. But because of, everything involved with him right now, and, he just looks like a guy right now, I give him 8. I give him not losing an 8. And I'm the opposite with Beaver. Like, beat the brakes off of Chilemba. Do it so bad. If you can, just beat him so bad the ref say, that's enough. We done. That's enough. And then start trolling Kovalev. What? I thought you was a bully. Like, you can't run. You the bully. You the bully. You can't run. You can't. You got to get this work. You're like, wait, what? What do you mean? No. I'm calling you out. Wait. This is not how this goes. Yes, because if he can get in his mind early, he could beat him before the fight is even signed. Like, yeah, yeah, we're gonna crush the crusher today. So, and that's the fun thing about contact sports. That's the fun thing about fighting sports, is the psyche can change on a dime. And if people feel like that's a chink in your armor, you're gonna have to fight to get your reputation back. So if you want, and he looks vulnerable. He still got the same skill. He still got the same power. He's still who he is. But they look at him as mentally vulnerable now. And in some ways, he lines up with that. So go for it. I'm hating, but go for it.
And, once the aura of invincibility is gone, then a lot of what got you ahead in most of your fights is gone. And people don't come in thinking that they're looking to survive. They're looking to win. All right, we're going to cut it off there. I know these shows have been shorter. It's just how it goes, guys. That's just how it goes. I honestly haven't had the fucking time. Let's just be honest. Hopefully a full hour show next week, recapping these, and I don't even know if there's a fight after that. How we'll do an hour, I don't know. We'll talk some shit for an hour.
We got topics. I'm just holding them off.
There you go. Follow the show on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box, iTunes, rate, review. You'll be next unofficial sponsor. Take the time out to do it. We will shout you out. That's how we do this around here. Thank you to all the haters responding on Twitter. Mikey Garcia is still the man at lightweight. Fuck all you haters. They're so fun. Loma fans are so fun to get riled up. They get riled up pretty easy. And honestly, I'm really just doing it just to piss them off. And if you've ever listened to the show, and this is how you know that the people getting mad are the people who don't listen to the show, because I'm like, if you've ever listened to me on this show, then you know that
we do this shit.
I give Loma all the credit in the world, and actually never accuse him of anything illegal. So even though I might have hinted at that on Twitter, so what? It is what it is. You know what? You can email us if you want. If you want to email and cuss me out, go ahead, do it. cheapseatsboxing@gmail.com. Questions, comments, anything like that. That's fine. Go do what you got to do. JP, is there anything else, man?
One thing.
Yeah.
I've said it before. For you Loma fans, I like Lomachenko. But in my personal opinion, Mike would beat the brakes off of him. But anyway, this is where the fighters fight and the fans commentate.
And we do it just like you from Cheap Seats, because we buy no tickets, goddamn it. Peace.
Believe that I'll never be shamed again. Again, I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me crazy, but no one can fade me. I'm the product of the projects. Lost